A vlog of many things, and today I am flying solo. My compatriot Eric is right now down at ShireCon, and my other compatriot Tom is currently unavailable, as I believe he is filling the minds of young ones with great knowledge. So I'm going to take one hit for the team by myself. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Bridgerton. You know, Bridgerton, the rampant success, or the successful, Netflix series that everybody knows about. My daughters love it. You know, it's on Netflix. If you haven't heard of Bridgerton, you probably lived under a rock your entire life. But multi-season, still going, I believe. It is a period drama, takes place in England, and highly, highly acclaimed. Now, about a week ago, there was a thing called the Bridgerton Experience Gala Ball, put on by a uncle and niece team, and let's just say that it didn't go as planned. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of something else that happened in the UK, there's a thing called the Willy Wonka Experience that happened last, I believe, early year, and it basically was an abysmal failure. A lot of people brought their kids there. It was just piss poor executed. It was horrible. I believe the London police are still investigating it, and the operators of it. And I have a feeling the operators of this Bridgerton event will be also investigated before this is over with, because this has made national news. And the reason I'm picking it up is because Detroit. I live in Michigan, and I figured I'd go ahead and do it. Now, Bridgerton. When you think of Bridgerton, this is what you think of, right? Elegance, period dress. And when you think of a Bridgerton ball, what do you think of? Well, you think of elegance. Yeah, that ain't the ball that happened at that ain't the ball that happened. Now, the company that put this on was Uncle and Me Event Management LLC. This is their website, which is now down. They took their website down, and they called this the Bridgerton Theme Ball Detroit. It was scheduled for, originally it was scheduled for August, which I'll get to in a minute. I did some investigating in this. I called the old venue. I talked to somebody there. I found out how many tickets they purchased or were sold. I found out the dollar amounts. I'm going to get into all kinds of cool stuff here. So this is basically what they went ahead and they advertised on their website. Going further into their website, it was set up for Sunday, September 22nd at the Grand River Avenue Bridgerton Theme Ball, Detroit. And this is the venue they ended up having it at. Now, they originally were going to have it at a different venue, and I'll talk about that here in a few minutes. Now, this is part of what they said about it. They said that the Bridgerton Theme Ball will take place at the Harmony Club on September 22nd from 6 p.m. to midnight. Come enjoy our Bridgerton Theme Ball with prizes, giveaways, and more. You'll also get a chance to win the Diamond of the Season. Wow, Diamond of the Season. Suitors in attendance will have a chance also to win a $2,000 cash prize for best dressed. All tickets will be honored. So basically, they are now carrying back to this if you purchase a ticket prior to the date change. Okay? So they're acknowledging that. Now, tickets. What do you think a ticket runs for this thing? Anywhere between $120 and $1,000 a head. And if you go online and you Google and you dig, you'll find out a lot of people paid for the $1,000 experience and the $550 experience. Now, I found out that they sold about 1,500 tickets. And I'm going to show you the math on this here in a few minutes. But more importantly, I'm going to get into a little bit of who the people are that did this event, and something that is pretty alarming to me. But it is what it is. So who are they? Well, excuse me. This is the niece and uncle. They were on CBS News talking about it. So even the news got hyped up about this. For those of you who don't know, Detroit's trying to get going through another renaissance. They're trying to bring business into Detroit. They are trying to take away the bad reputation that Detroit has with a lot of people. get crime down, bring more business to the downtown, get excitement. And the city of Detroit, local news, everybody was really excited about this event. So this is basically what CBS News did, and they did a nice little interview, and they promised the world. And this is part of what they said. They originally quoted as the Queen's Ball on August 25th at the Castle Hall in Beacon Park in Detroit. Now, I went ahead and I called the Castle Hall in Beacon Park in Detroit, and I was told that this was moved because they didn't pay the event fee. So the money that they got prior to this, which they sold out, they never even paid for the venue. They had to scramble to get a new venue. I'm getting that here in a few minutes. But they again say, oh my God, I never knew Detroit had castles. Detroit has castles. Are you kidding? Like, this will be amazing. And it's newly renovated, said Beard. Those in attendance will enjoy dinner. There was dinner, dancing, and oh, hell yeah, there was dancing, but I don't think it's quite the dancing you're going to think about. By the way, hold on for the ride, Buttercups, because the type of dancing, well, I wonder if there was a couple thousand bottles of P. Diddy's personal lubricant and baby oil in the back room. I'll get to that in a minute. Carriage rides, games, as well as a chance to win a $2,000 cash prize for best dress. The organizer said jumping into a world like Bridgerton is a chance to escape reality for a time. Yeah, the people who came to this damn thing escaped reality for a short time. We'll get to that more in a second. Now, these are the two people who ran it. This is from Uncle and Me, Event Management. Their website, again, is taken down. I will admit I got this from the Wayback Machine. It is a website that you can go to. You can look at websites in the past. And it's a nice little feel good about their story. And they were founded by Jeremy Scott and Chelsea Beard. Now, Chelsea, I did find on social media, and I'm going to get to her in a minute. As far as Jeremy Scott, that guy is AWOL, AWOL. He is gone out of here. His social media is gone, man. I mean, and I know why, and so are you. Now, this is basically welcome to the Detroit Bridgerton theme ball. And again, this gets into more about, again, they're promising carriage rides and magical event and music and food and dancing. They're not lying. There was dancing there, okay? There was dancing there. I admit it, okay? This was the formal invitation. And now, why am I showing the invitation? Because the invitation is critical in this. Because when you're running an event that costs anywhere between $120 a head and $1,000, you give invitations, and you would expect that those invitations would have to be honored. In other words, there would be somebody at the door. There would be staff there. There wasn't. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about this here in a few minutes. This is one of the reports on this event. This lady says, my sister, I think, paid $150 for a dress. In total, the night was costing them close to $1,000. But if it was half as good as the Chicago Ball, they thought it'd be worth it. But when they arrived at the Harmony Club in downtown Detroit, their hopes were quickly dashed, and she claims they were scammed. The first warning sign was a long line of people still waiting outside in the rain to get in more than half an hour after the event started, which sold around 1,500 tickets. It was supposed to start at 6 p.m. After doing some research, this event didn't even kick off until almost 7:30. When they finally got inside, none of the staff were dressed in the theme appropriate. They were all wearing black jeans and black polo shirts. Now, I did some checking into this more, and you can do yourself. Nothing I say is not openly on social media, and also even in the news, because now ABC, CBS, NBC, and even BBC and the UK press is covering this event. They're also saying that there's nobody at the door checking for tickets. Now, if you're going to pay this kind of money, nobody's at the door. People are walking in and out. So basically, why'd you buy a ticket? And this is one of the images of people bottlenecked. They weren't they weren't allowed to get in half the time because the door was locked. It was raining. You can see people really dressing nice for it. And the staff, I guess, just didn't really care to dress. I guess blue jeans and polo shirts are a cool thing that you wear to a Bridgerton-themed magical ball. Now, also, this is from Chelsea Beard's direct social media. I have blacked out her friends. She was posting on July 11th that the Bridgerton theme ball sold out last Thursday. This is June 11th. So she had sold this out 3 months prior to the event, 2 months prior to the other event, the original location, which she did not pay to get into. And again, you can go and make sure you subscribe to their website at uncleandme.com, which is now nothing. It is, in fact, when you go to uncleandme.com, you go to this, a Wix.com site. They're making this kind of money off events, and they go to Wix for $14.95 a month. Now, let's talk a little bit about this event, all right? And what I want to talk about this event is, what are some of the things about this event that were so magical? Now, they did have dinner, and I'm going to get into dancing here in a minute. First of all, these are the issues with the event. There was no organizers at the event. There was nobody kind of emceeing it. There was nobody in, Bridgerton themed garb. Again, blue jeans and black jeans and black polo shirts. I wonder if they had a logo. Don't know. No one was checking tickets at the doors. Now, they promised a magical meal. Now, what was the magical meal? And again, this is being reported widely, so I am not talking out of school. People even posted photographs of it. There was chicken served, which people said was raw in the middle. They said that the green beans that were served tasted like fish. This is from multiple people. There was an overdone macaroni and simple tomato sauce. Costco meatballs, the kind you buy in the big 3-gallon tub and just dump and warm up. Drinks were served in paper cups, but there was no alcohol because there was no bar as promised. So you're thinking you're going to be clinking champagne glasses like Bridgerton, No, paper Dixie cups. There was not enough seating for the 1,500 people that were at this event. There was no carriage ride. There was no best dress contest. There was no classic ensemble. Now, let's talk a little bit about the magical entertainment for the night. Now, I'm going to tell you what, you're getting ready to see imagery that might not be safe for work. This is an NSFW, okay? But this comes directly from the venue, all right? And I shitteth you not. This is the closest you're going to get to Bridgerton because you sure as hell didn't get this close to it at this event. So there was a violinist there, a single violinist. No classical ensemble like you would think. Okay? But there were dancers there. There was dancing there. This is the dance, one of the dancers. There was actually two. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Pole dancing. They had flipping pole dancing at the Bridgerton event. Now, I have to make a confession here. I have never watched Bridgerton. But I did a little research. I watched a few YouTube videos, and I ain't seen no pole dancing in any of the episodes I ended up watching on YouTube of Bridgerton. So, yeah, pole dancing. This is legitimate from the event. Legitimate imagery from the event. This has been reported on national news. So they not only, and I don't understand how to even deal with this without sitting there losing it here, but when you show up to an event like this with all this hype, and I know I'm trying to keep light of this, it's a really horrible thing because people lost a lot of money on this. And what's really shameful about all of this is that when you do the math and you do a little bit more investigating into this like I did. Now, welcome to a rabbit hole. You're going to go down with me. So I went ahead and I did some investigating on this lady right here, Chelsea Beard. She is the lady. This is her Facebook, open to the public. So I'm going to post it. And let me tell you how I know this is the lady. She advertises herself as a holistic mama, an event planner, wife, mommy, herbalist, holistic doula. Excuse me if I don't pronounce that correctly. And as you go further down on her social media, Linktree. Now, this Chelsea Beard, this whole thing with the fire, and of course the content's not available right now because she deleted her Facebook or excuse me, her website. If you go to her page and look at the comments, you'll see there's a lot of unhappy campers. But if you look over to the bottom left of her page, there's a Linktree link. I clicked it, and sure enough, Detroit Bridgerton themed ball. Now, I clicked on that link, and the link goes to the Dead Wicks webpage. Okay? Now, what's really kind of alarming about this is when you're looking at all these posts, people are not getting any responses from her. You know, she made a few posts support, pushing it. And then as people are saying, what the hell's going on here? She, of course, doesn't answer. And even the Detroit Homeless Union is posting on this. And the Detroit Homeless Union is not somebody you want to go ahead and get on the bad side because they are a big organization. Now, I did some digging into this lady. This lady has 5 different entities on LARA. This is the State of Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. The key word is licensing, which will be really, really key later on in this video because licensing on something else that she's doing and she does not have a license for may get her in trouble. But basically what she has Buttered Up LLC, Uncle and Me LLC, Holistic Herbalism LLC, Holistic Juicer LLC, and Holistic Mommy's Birth and Education Center, which is the one I'm going to harp on here in a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about something very unique here. There's a couple of addresses I want to talk about here. The 43313 Woodward Avenue, number 1340, Bloomfield, Michigan, 48302. For Uncle and Me LLC. Now, digging into this kind of stuff, we'll get into her Uncle and Me LLC. She is the resident agent of this business, okay? And the funny thing is when you go ahead and you start digging deeper into Uncle and Me, you'll see that Chelsea Beard and Jeremy Scott are both the organizers under this LLC. So she is the listed registered agent, and her uncle, if that's indeed her uncle, are listed as organizers. Now, the funny thing is when you go to Chelsea's social media, her friends list is wide open, and there is no Jeremy Scott. This guy has totally wiped his social media. Looking at some Wayback Machine stuff, he's there, but he's gone now. And when you look at the 43313 Woodward Avenue, and you take a look at it, there, if you notice here, Holistic Mommy's Birth and Education LLC. All right. But then when you look down below that, you see Chelsea Beard, managing member, and then you see that there's 80 companies located at 43313 Woodward Avenue. Why? Because when you Google this and you go to Street View, it's a Staples with a PO with a box. You can rent boxes. So basically, they're cranking out these rental places where you can rent an address and a box number and call it a suite and such. And that's for both of them. And then when you go into Holistic Mommies and Birth Education Center LLC, there she is, Chelsea Beard, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing that's really bothers me about this is I went ahead and I did some investigating into Chelsea. Chelsea is not licensed in any type of medical field. She has no nursing license, no midwifery license. She's not licensed as a holistic specialist, nothing. But she is operating a Holistic Mommy's Birth and Education Center. She's giving birth mothers potential advice on how to holistically handle their birthing and educating them. And she is not licensed in the state of Michigan, and I could not find her licensed in any other state. I did call the state of Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs for medical licenses, and I did ask them if I want to open up a birth and education center where I advise mothers on how to, do diet and care for themselves? Do I have to be licensed? And the answer was, oh, yes, you do. She's not. Take it for what it is. Now, there was, as an example, there was another couple of addresses on here. This 28475 Greenfield Road, et cetera, et cetera. And I did a little digging into those places, and I found out that the Southfield, the 28475, again, is another virtual address. Basically, what it is, for $10 a month or $20 or even 30 if you want to go premium. I think 30 you can accept big packages. Starter is just you get a little box. And basically it's just a office with a whole lot of mail slots. And each mail slot has a suite number to it. Now, in all fairness, Chelsea did respond to this. And this was her response. And I'm going to be fair and leave this up and read this in full. She says, it says, Chelsea Beard, and by the way, this is from the Detroit Free Press. Chelsea Beard, a Detroit-based entrepreneur who put on the Bridgerton theme event, said in a statement, "We understand that not everyone had the experience they anticipated at our event on Sunday night at the Harmony Club, and for that, we sincerely apologize. Our goal was to create a magical evening, but we recognize that organizational challenges and unforeseen challenges, including a last-minute venue and date change, impacted the experience for some guests." Some guests. I would like to hear from anybody who went to this damn thing and was impressed with the strippers at a Bridgerton theme event, or anyone that was impressed with it. But at any rate, unfortunately, some non-refundable deposits from the original bookings resulted in losses on our end. I would really like to know what non-refundable deposits from original bookings. You mean to tell me the small deposit that was paid to the previous venue? Because I'm going to get in next to the math of all this, and we're going to see how financially strained these two people really were. So she said, which added to the challenges. Nonetheless, we take full responsibility for these shortcomings. No, you don't, because you're not offering people refunds. Please know that we are working diligently to address all concerns and will be reaching out with further details shortly. Your feedback, both positive and constructive, is greatly appreciated. You can expect an email with next steps. This was done a week ago, and there's been no emails to anybody yet. We want to extend a special thanks to those who attended. You all look breathtaking, and we are excited to share the recap video and photos soon. Was she even there? Was her uncle even there? Because people reporting she and her uncle weren't even there. She ends with, "Your understanding and loyalty mean the world to us, and we're dedicated to making this right. With love and gratitude, Chelsea." Brings a warm little tick to my heart to know that she ends that with love and gratitude. Now, I'd have a hell of a lot of gratitude also, because I did some math here. What I did is I kind of broke this down for you, and I'm going to show this to you in a minute. Now, there was about 1,500 tickets sold, anywhere between $120 and $1,000. So what I did is I did a little bit of averaging, about $300 a ticket. Okay. I may be off $50,000 or $60,000. And even if I'm off $50,000 or $60,000, hold on to your pants, because this is the math. Now, I did some checking. That venue for one night is about $1,500. Calling around, you can get a classical music ensemble for 4 hours, which would have covered most of the evening, for $2,500. I called several caterers, and I could get a nice, decent, well-done 4-course meal for about $45 a plate. So about $45,000 if you figure 1,000 people coming. If you want to be fair and add the additional 500, you're going to add roughly about $20,000 to that. Okay. She promised a $2,000 first prize for best dress, which she never gave. She promised the diamond award of a diamond. Let's just say $2,000 for a diamond. I can get an open bar for $5,000, and carriage rental runs about $2,000. So total cost plus or minus $20,000 is tops $80,000. But let's just say hell with it. We're going to be really gracious here. We're going to add $50,000 to this. So basically $130,000 cost at most. And if she sold 1,500 tickets, at $300 each, she's making $450,000. So basically, she grossed about 450 grand. And if she had to pay 150 grand in costs for the night, she would have walked away with $300,000. $300,000 gross profit on the venue. And keep in mind, I am now taking my original math and I'm adding 50, I'm adding 70. I'm going to double it. Let's just say venue was 3,000, 5,000 for the ensemble, 90K for the food, which no way. And prize promises, double everything. She's still walking away with $250,000 to $300,000. Are you mad yet? You should be. And she's running a birth mother holistic advice thing, and she's not licensed to do so. So this cluster, whatever, of an event was absolutely horrible. And I didn't even post the imagery of this event. It was a big white room with plastic tables in one end with some food. And because people posted all about, there's just people sitting on the floors because they didn't have anywhere to sit, because the chairs and the tables they had just were not enough for the event. This was abysmally put on. But what's really upsetting here is okay, fine, they put an event on and it didn't go as planned. Okay, I imagine at an event like this, even if you do it 100% right, you're going to have your naysayers. Not everybody's going to be happy. As they say, even 5-star restaurants have unhappy customers. But nobody's happy about this. Nothing was done. There was no carriage rides. There was no prize that people were promised. Where was this $2,000 first prize? Where was this diamond award given? Where was the magical drinks? They're giving them out of paper Dixie cups. Again, Google it. Look at the imagery. Strippers at a Bridgerton event. And on top of that, when you do the math, she ballpark raked in after costs about 300 grand. What people need to do is people need to go ahead and say, where did this money go to? Where did this money go to? Because there's something going on in the background, and this woman has other events planned. She does this. Now, the website is shut down. The official Facebook page for their company is gone. It's gone. And I expect what's going to happen here is there's going to be some rebranding. She's probably going to file another LLC and another PO box. And what she's going to go ahead and do is she's just going to simply reopen under a new name, under a new company name, and she's going to go ahead and continue to do this. So I really hope that people don't drop this. Again, I will defend any event that's put on when you have a couple people whining and crying or griping about it. You can't make everybody happy. But nobody got what they paid for here. Nobody got the experience. This is like the Willy Wonka experience and that fire festival thing that abysmally happened. And this happened in my state, in Detroit, Michigan. And Detroit doesn't need this BS. Detroit is really trying to really make a lot of really fundamental good changes, and they have. A lot of really negative areas in Detroit have kind of cleaned up, and there's a lot of great businesses in the downtown. There's a lot of great venues like this venue was, and this venue is a victim just like the people who went to this venue. And this lady right here and her uncle ought to be bloody well ashamed. And this guy, this uncle, who's now in hiding, deleted all of his social media and is scared to come out from underneath his rock. And she's now not posting nothing and everything except, we'll send you an email with, no, why don't you refund their money? Why don't you go ahead and why don't you refund half of their money? Half their money, just half their ticket cost. No, because you know why? Because I got a feeling that the money was spent on better things. So you take it for what it is. This is Don from Vlog Many Things talking about the Bridgerton themed Gala Ball event. It was an event. Got to take it that. So hope everybody has a good night. And yeah, wow, that's all I got to say. Have a good night.